welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been.
It has been a while. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a big gap there.
Yeah. It's, I always think that the summertime, be like, man, I can brew all the time because it's, so anyway, so let's start the video. So we and our respective wives went to take a little trip down to New Mexico way.
Yeah.
Down to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. It was about, a month ago? It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so we took the opportunity to hit a couple breweries, hit a winery, and so I thought we'd share our thoughts since it was all new to us.
Yeah.
And if anybody in New Mexico is watching, let us know where we're wrong or right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
Yeah, so did you say Albuquerque?
I said, I think I said
Yeah,
Albuquerque.
and then Santa Fe.
We took a left there,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. So the only I think the biggest issue is that we just ran short on time. Yeah.
It seems to be the case.
We're in Albuquerque for 2 days and then Santa Fe for 1.
Yep.
And there just wasn't enough time to go all the places we want to.
Right.
But luckily, in Santa Fe we found an excellent liquor store, and they had quite a wide selection of New Mexico, craft beer.
Yep.
And we grabbed a bunch of them. So
Yeah. This is a surprisingly good liquor store. Even looking at it from the outside, I was like, ooh. But, man, this guy was super nice. And, beer
and then we're looking for, because we had tried, Sandia Hard Cider. We tried Sandia Hard Cider down in Albuquerque, and the wives loved it. I mean, I loved it too.
Yeah.
And there's a watermelon, I believe, in particular. And so we asked the liquor store owner, hey, do you guys have any of this, the Sandia Hard Cider? He said, oh, yeah, it's in back. And it was like, there's more?
There's a back?
Yeah. So we went into the back of the cooler, and he had a ton more beer back
he had a
there.
lot of stuff.
So that's what we're having now, Sandia. It's actually black cherry, this one.
Yeah.
But it's quite a good cider.
Yeah.
So I think we kicked the trip off right, though, because we went to Ex Novo.
Yep.
And we actually stopped there a little bit farther north and west of the center of town, or at least where our hotel was, and swung in there. They have a gorgeous location.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, awesome location. They had a tap room, and then they had a nice outdoor area, and they were killing it with the lagers.
Yeah.
Their lagers were delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got some pictures. You can see how clear they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think, I know for sure they had a Czech premium pills.
Yep, they had a Mexican lager.
Yeah.
And then I think She Sells Seashells was a Hellas. I
couldn't remember if they had a Hellas or not.
Yeah.
But, there's... I was not disappointed with any of them. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, They were incredibly good.
Yeah. But, the venue was probably one of the best breweries I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Didn't go into the tap room, just outside. They had a place for kids to play and awnings and places. Yeah. It was really nice.
And it's actually split into two. So the tap room's on one side, then there's a parking lot, and then the other venues on the other side by the brewery. And that's where we pretty much hung out. And they had food trucks there. And we learned our first important lesson. Always order the smallest nacho order you can.
Holy
in
crap.
New Mexico. So actually, I don't think we learned the lesson there. I think we learned it later. But because I got to order of nachos, and it was, they had to tape one of those large food containers shut, and it was just full of nachos. And I ate off of it. My wife had some. We took it back to the hotel. We ended up eating it again another time. And I still threw away like 3 pounds of nachos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think my wife ordered them somewhere else later on at just a restaurant. And the same thing. She's like, I can't eat all
And it was
this.
specifically the small one.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was this big plate, and it was just to the edge and like this tall with nachos. It was crazy. And they're delicious, though.
Yeah, it would have been enough for 4 of us to eat.
Absolutely,
easily, So we kicked it off with Ex Novo. So if you're in the area, definitely go.
Yeah, definitely.
So then I think the next day, the first place we went to was, the winery.
Yeah, the winery.
Yeah, the winery is Casa Rodenia. I think is how you pronounce it. My wife, as I mentioned before, my wife's not a beer drinker. So we thought we'd be nice to her and went to the winery, and it was It was great.
Yeah.
Again, awesome venue. They had a pond. It was really relaxing. It was beautiful. The wine was really good. At least the one or two I had. It was really good. A little hard to find.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was strange with because it had a road going down one side of the estate or the land that wasn't there. There's a big ornate gate that you go through, and that just didn't seem intuitive when we drove by it. But
that and Apple Maps did me dirty. So
then we're kind of. I mean, we're new there.
Yeah,
so I'm sure if you've seen the winery, you're probably like, oh yeah, that door. You guys are idiots. So
pretty much, but so it was great and knowledgeable staff there. I was asking about what do you call it? Lease. I'm not.
Yeah.
So
which is basically wine troupe.
Yeah. For lack of a better.
Yeah.
to beer it up.
Yeah.
The beer
beers for our beer viewers. Yeah. I'm the wife and I are tasting some wine. Figure why not expand our palate? So that worked out well. Yeah, I quite enjoyed all the wines. And I was surprised they had like a sampler thing. You got like a little tiny pour of four different wines. Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, and I guess by default you could say I want the white sampler or red sampler, but you can also mix it up.
Mix up,
yeah, didn't care.
Yeah, beautiful location, and we got some pictures. Hopefully, we've been showing them this whole time.
If not, we'll just cram all in the end.
So, and that day, the winery was actually our first stop. We went to the Nuclear Museum of Science. Is that what it is? Nuclear Museum of... No, the Museum of Nuclear Science and History. Sorry, I wrote down Nuclear Museum of Nuclear Science and History.
It's the Museum
Redundancy Department. So, yeah, the Nuclear Museum is awesome. I loved it. They have... they got this cool shot of all these nuclear technology-inspired comic books and toys, and you see Fallout there. We're big fans of the Fallout franchise. They have, of course, great displays. They have the tower. I believe it's the tower where they dropped the first one.
Where they exploded it, where they hoisted it up the tower and then it exploded. Yeah.
A lot of film that you can go through back and forth real slow or fast of different bomb tests. A whole slew of aircraft and nuclear missiles out in the outside area. Just a lot of great history. They had nuclear medicine in there, and just a bunch of stuff about nuclear power. And it's real interesting. They even have a DeLorean.
Yeah.
So
But that was actually one of those. Every now and again, you run into those museums where it's better than you expected to be, and that was one of them. So
that was actually my second time there, and I still enjoyed it.
Oh that was a lot of fun.
And we wanted to get into the convention center. So if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, the Nuclear Museum is where they met a couple of times in the TV series. And there's also a statue, Breaking Bad statue of Walt and Jesse in the convention center in Albuquerque, but it was the convention center was closed and it was inside of the convention center, so we didn't get to see that. And then no matter what Google Maps tells you, there's not a El Pollos Hermanos. Google Maps actually shows like 3 locations and a merchandise truck, and one of the locations is actually the Twisters. It was the actual location where they filmed the restaurant shots, and we didn't go there. We probably should have for lunch, but we got distracted. But the other places are non-existent as far as we can tell.
Yeah. Which is surprising. It's a TV show.
So second day, went to the museum, went to the winery. Then we hit a bunch of breweries.
Yeah.
I think the first one was Marble,
which, man, it was
awesome.
It was fantastic. Yeah. Again,
another one.
Those guys dialed in the lagers down there.
Yeah.
Holy moly! The Marble Brewery is. I think we had Ellis, a couple Pilsners, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a really great venue too. Big outdoor area. Right as you walk in, you have to walk through it to get into the brewery, and they had a band setting up. Great. I can't say anything bad about Marble. They're terrific.
No, yeah. I think it was pretty big too, because I think they had an upstairs even.
Oh, I didn't know they had upstairs.
Yeah, I saw people walking upstairs, and I should have gone up there and checked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. I could have spent a long time there.
Yeah, and it seems to me that Marble is absolutely huge. In New Mexico, I haven't seen their beer anywhere else as far as I can tell, but they were all over the place. So
yeah. Yep.
And then after that, we went to Gravity Bound.
Gravity Bound, yep.
Yeah, again, they killed it with the lagers. So, the lagers they had were good. They had another beer called Smoked Beers, Not Trees.
Yep.
And that was probably one of the best smoked beers I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, very understated smoke character.
Yeah. I can't remember if I got that one or not. Maybe I just took a sample.
Yeah, I think you did. You got a full pour, I think.
Yeah, and it was, it was like, like you said, it was just really understated. By the time you got halfway through, you kind of didn't even really notice the smoke. It was, just the background. Didn't taste like you're drinking a campfire, so.
Yeah, for me, I usually, it feels like you have to scrape your tongue off after a while because, I can't taste anything.
But I can't think of anything else that was really remarkable about that.
So I can. My wife went gaga over a mango coffee. What else? Oh, I can't remember the other thing. A mango coconut coffee sour. That's what it was, and it was called Mango Layer. And that was really good. And the neat thing about it is you got every flavor as you drank it. So you took a sip, and there's mango, and then coffee, and then the coconut came in at the end, or something like that. I can't remember the order, but each one was distinct. So I'm gonna. Unfortunately, we didn't get any to-go beer there, and when we got back, I wasn't hearing the end of it. My wife said, "Oh, I wish we'd gotten some." So I'm gonna try to brew it up. I actually reached out to the brewery and asked them if they give me the recipe.
Yeah.
Crickets so far.
Yeah.
So far.
Never know.
I did some Googling around though, and it looks like they also use lactose and vanilla wafers.
Vanilla wafers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're gonna see. That might be a couple of episodes.
Might be.
So.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. That'll be interesting. Happy to try it. Just
real quick. The second beer that we're having tonight is from Steelbender, and this is Kampa. It's a blue corn lager. Jesse didn't care for it.
I did not.
I have not tried it.
Yeah.
Not through any brewing fault. He just didn't care for
just the flavor. Yeah. So.
Give you a full glass. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. So yeah, Gravity Bound is starting to get kind of late, so we decided to head down, kind of more downtown. And I was like, there's a cruising strip. I wish I could remember the name, but man, people are driving back and forth, and just doing it up, man. It was like everyone was in high school again. It was kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it was cool. There was one guy broke down.
Yeah.
And like all the other hot rodders and cruisers jumped out and pushed his car off the road, and then they helped him out.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah. And a couple minutes later, we saw him cruising by again. Yeah. So I'm glad it worked out for him.
And they're completely different style vehicles. So
I
don't know if they knew each other or anything like that.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a 2-lane road, so if they didn't move them, then they'd be sitting there.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And that was at Bose Brothers, right?
We were at Bose Brothers.
Yeah. And Bose Brothers was really good as well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as blown away by them as I was like Marvel or Ex Novo, but I absolutely would happily sit in there for a couple hours and drink their beer.
I think we did.
I think we did too.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say we swung through Red Door Brewing. And went in there, and they didn't have any of their beer on tap. The guys at Bose Brothers said that they thought Red Door was having a problem with their brewery, and they're working on getting it fixed. So,
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Hey,
so
nobody's perfect.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Something about Bose Brothers. I don't remember. Yeah, it'll come to me. So, that was what surprised me. Colorado Springs, all the breweries close at 8?
Yeah.
Maybe 9? They were open till like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
That was shocking to me. I just wasn't used to that.
I think the downtown breweries here are open later.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll put some of the downtown breweries right here in their hours. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they're open till 1 though. That just seemed really late. But if they can make it work, then power to them.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about Albuquerque, which was kind of strange, was I don't know if they've ever done any zoning. Because it was like the entire city that we saw was 1 story tall. Maybe a couple 2-story buildings.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we didn't see a city center until like the very end of the last day. We're like, hey, that's a tall building.
Yeah.
Let's go that way. What is it?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is...
Well, and the zoning thing is because I said that because it's like, you go down the street, it's like restaurant, house, factory, house, restaurant, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, and that was the part that struck me. It was just kind of hodgepodge, like you said, have a house next to a tire shop next to whatever. So
yeah.
But the buildings, I guess that didn't. And Colorado Springs is kind of very small, multi-level. So everything else is spread out. So it's a typical Western town. Yeah. In that sense.
Maybe because it's flatter there, it didn't seem so. We're here. Usually, you can see more of the area.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I was surprised how green it was. Everything was a lot greener than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, we've been having a lot of rain here in Colorado this year. I don't know if they've been having a lot of rain in New Mexico as well. But, I mean, just like the cottonwood trees that grow along the riverbanks, they were very healthy looking.
Yep.
We're here, they're usually dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But, so that was Albuquerque.
Yeah. And then we shot up to Santa Fe. Santa Fe! So we had a little technical difficulty, so we're re-recording this section about Santa Fe.
For what, the third time then?
Yeah.
Well, at least for part of it, yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. So Santa Fe, that's where we headed to after Albuquerque.
Yes. So let's see, we got there late morning, I think, right before lunch.
Yeah. So we had a little bit of time to kill.
Yeah, so we're, we'll talk about that later, but, so we went to Santa Fe, I don't have a problem with that tonight, Santa Fe Plaza, which is, it's a square, and they had some sort of like a bandstand or like a gazebo in the center, and then like a park, and then around that,
surrounded by businesses, and kind of like the touristy stuff that you'd expect. Yeah. They had some really cool Native American singing and dancing going on in the middle. Mm-hmm. And then like a stretch of area where they're selling jewelry and dishes that was handmade by the Native Americans there, and that was super cool. Yeah. Yeah, not a huge fan of jewelry myself, but if that's your thing, there's a wide selection.
Yep. Yeah, so not surprisingly, if you like the Cocopelli dancer or flute player, that type of thing, that kind of art, you need to go. Because that's, I think we didn't really, I don't know. Santa Fe was very, like I said, was artsy-fartsy. So it seemed like if you wanted to do art stuff, like what was her name, Georgia O'Keeffe? Yeah. I think she had a museum, you go to her house.
Yeah, and there are a lot of places that have, painting galleries or paint galleries. And, so definitely, and I'd heard that too, that's pretty. Actually, our friend Ed, we've got a video coming up. His mom was a big painter, and she had a studio in Santa Fe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and actually, we had one sad thing about the trip to Santa Fe is we had like 4 restaurant recommendations that were, you've got to go to these, and Ed gave us 2 of them, I believe, and we didn't eat 4 meals in Albuquerque.
Yeah, it was kind of whirlwind. Yeah.
So, and we ended up going to the 66 Diner, which was really great food. So,
Yep, big portions. It does, like we said in Albuquerque, it's something with New Mexico, man. You don't leave that state hungry.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. But you're full of beans, so I love beans.
Yeah, it was all so good.
And as a matter of fact, I fell in love with Huevos Rancheros while we were down there. I think I've made it like 5 times for myself since we got home.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Wait, what is this? This is Social Hour from Santa Fe Brewing Company, and we actually brought back a number of their other beers, and I've loved everything I've had. That Nut Brown was phenomenal.
Yeah, no kidding.
So they're really good, and they were everywhere as well.
Yeah, not surprisingly. Yeah. I think it's whatever. I don't know. I was going to say I think they're the biggest. What do I know? I was pulling that one out of the thin air. But we went to in the plaza. They had passed a sign as soon as we walked in. Desert Dogs Brewery and Cidery. So we decided to go up there, and they had a bunch of other people's stuff. I don't know if they just weren't making theirs or if they weren't ready
or like there's a problem like with Red Door.
Yeah.
We don't know. So if you know, let us know.
Yeah.
It's a great location though to go sit and have a beer. They had some nice TVs up.
Yeah.
Friendly clientele, staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had their own bathroom.
Oh,
It seemed like that was huge in the plaza because there's a lot of signs like no public restrooms.
Oh, I see.
And,
Okay, all right. I was like, is that a selling point? I didn't realize.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I'm always keen when the place has their own bathroom.
I've got several. I don't brag. But yeah, it's worth a stop.
Yeah.
And they had good beer. The beer they had was top notch.
Yep.
They had Marble and Santa Fe and
Yep.
whatnot. I was going to say, I think they even had Gravity Browned.
I think they did.
Yeah, because they had a pale ale there from them that was...
Yeah, because you tried it while you were there.
Yeah, it was quite good.
It was Zeus or something, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's
Zeus
right.
juice?
Yes. Zeus
Yeah,
juice,
yeah.
Yep, and I just tried it because my dog's name is Zeus. So,
Yeah.
So I've been itching to make an IPA like that. Anyway, again, another episode. So spent the morning, afternoon there, and then in the evening went to Rowley.
Yeah, Rowley Farmhouse Ales.
Yep.
If you like Saisons, you should definitely check them out. I think it was actually a little oversold for us. So we have a couple of friends here, at least three or four people that just went on and on about Rowley. So I think we had set our expectations a little too high.
Yeah.
The Saisons were all really good. I just didn't think there's any that stood out that much to me.
Yeah, nothing.
Except for one, and I don't want you to think I'm being mean to it, but I quite enjoyed it. It smelled and tasted like blue cheese. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I checked it in, later on, Rowley Farmhouse Ale said thanks.
Oh, nice.
I checked it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I assume they intended that, but.
I wonder how many people check it and going, what the? I think it is bad.
But yeah, because I gave it a high rating.
Yeah.
So yeah. But and the food there was all really good. And it was kind of interesting because like all of it seemed like it was made right there. So the baguettes had spent grain in it. The pickles I think were fermented and not actually pickled the regular way. What else? Grass-fed burgers. I'm drawing a blank on anything else that was.
I didn't notice that they were that. I want to say grain to glass. That's not right. Farm to table.
Farm to table.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was that
Yeah. So
place.
and that was pretty interesting. There's a bunch of them, and the tap list. They had a lot of beer, and I got a couple shots of it. They had a pile of beers on tap, and they had a pile of bottles that you could buy. I think probably one of the big problems was we picked a bad night to go. They were short-staffed. Like the manager was gone, and the owner was at a baseball game or something, and no one could change the taps or the kegs, so they had a bunch of taps that were out.
Yeah.
And service was slow. I'm sure they're not always like that, but because they kept apologizing and saying they're short, so it doesn't seem like something that's the norm.
No, yeah. And he seemed pretty, our server, he seemed pretty stressed out. So he was running around like crazy. So I was like, cut you some slack. That's fine. So please don't, spurn them. Spurn them. Oh. Don't avoid them just because we're saying that. If you like Saisons, if you like farmhouse ales, definitely check them out. What I want to know what happened was it looks like there had been a fire in the parking lot at one point because the lights on the building were melted. The telephone pole or power line pole over there was burnt. It was it looked like a log you'd get from the fireplace. Yeah. And there's just all this evidence of like a fire had gone on there. And we couldn't tell if it started from the wires or like a car in the lot caught on fire. I'd like to know what happened. Yeah, just curiosity.
Yeah, so if you know, definitely let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah, it was a good trip. All in all, I mean, we're gone 4 days? Yeah, Friday. And we left Friday at like noon and we came back Monday.
Yeah.
At like noon, something like that. Yeah. So it was a little quicker trip. We had to rush it a little bit, but it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was good to get away. It's been a really busy summer.
Yeah.
And it was just nice to get out of there. Actually, my wife and I we had planned on going on like a week-long trip somewhere, and we just couldn't nail it down.
Yeah.
And as the time went on, like stuff kept falling into slots, and it's like, well, we got 2 weekends we can choose from. So if you're heading out to New Mexico, check them out. All the breweries we mentioned, great beer. let us know if we missed any places that are your favorites, or if you think we messed something else up.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing.
Cool. Till next time, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching our video. Check out our website at coloradobrewtalk.com for more great content.
While you're there, be sure to leave us a comment or drop us a line with your thoughts.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at CO Brew Talk, or follow the links below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.
Or episodes. As the case may be.